What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos. And this guy is.
No, Mythos, you gotta put more effort into my intro.
I'm sorry. This man, myth, and legend here.
That's too much.
Oh, okay. The supreme painter of the frosted
No, it's just the ascended trash Oni.
Oh man.
She gets like some of those trumpet flares.
Oh, they've got little sound effects in
like little trumpets. Like, burr, 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 burr.
Hellworks vodka. Never really been a vodka man myself, but man, get your drink on. Oh, more of a whiskey guy. I like rum too. But why is the rum gone? Who took my dice? Have a great night. Happy Easter. I'm doing family stuff, but I'll be watching later. Free Oni. Oni is free. Oni is out of the basement. His chaperone is nowhere there to be seen. And like the cool uncle that I am, I will not be locking the basement tonight. This I have spoken. So tonight, Freak is out, everybody. You see that it is just the two of us. Freak has actually had some surgery work done this week, and we're all wishing him a speedy recovery. He said earlier in the week that he wanted to try and make it, even if he had to be all hopped up on drugs. I said, you hopped up on drugs would probably be a great show. He's really needing tonight to recuperate. So, like I said, everybody show him some love, send him some well-wishing messages, and hopefully he'll be healed up and we can see him again soon. So we're gonna do a painting stream tonight. I really want to save some of the announcements that they've been doing with the slow reveals that they've been doing for 10th edition. We're getting pretty regular updates about how things are going to be in 10th edition. So I am anticipating it coming out soon. In fact, I think they said at the end of April 29th, I believe, that at one of their events, you're going to be actually able to play. You'll be the first place to actually try out the new rules for 10th edition. So that means the books are probably already, they're probably being printed right now. So with that, they'll probably have their test run, where you can actually play and test the game during their event. After the event, we'll imagine that sometime in May they'll do the pre-orders for the box sets. And guys, 10th edition could very well be right around the corner. But I want to save those news for when all three of us are together, so that way we can chat back and forth with how we feel about the game. Freak, I guess, has become less enamored with 9th edition, so he's really looking forward. And I know that's the sentiment that a lot of people are feeling. He's looking forward to 10th edition. I know my friend Commodore kind of felt the same way. So there's definitely some people who are ready to move on. You guys know when New Year's comes around, sometimes some of us are just ready for the next thing, right? And I can feel that echo throughout several members of our community. With that being said, though, guys, let us know in the comments how you guys are feeling about 10th, and if you're ready to have a break from 9th, if you're ready to be out with the old and in with the new. We're going to save all those feelings for, like I said, when Freak's back, and all of us can be on the show together and talk about how we feel coming into the new edition. Because we will talk about the changes that are coming and everything that's been leaked and announced and previewed and all that good stuff. So we are going to do just a chill hobby and hang night. We can see Oni and I already got our brushes a-going. And I'm going to take a quick minute to actually share stuff out. Because usually one of us sets up the show and the other one does the sharing. And I may have forgotten to do the sharing part tonight. And I've got us running late tonight. Oh, man, I'm really just dropping the ball. Brother Oni, what you working on tonight, brother?
Azrael.
Azrael. Is that the new Primaris one?
Yep.
Nice. What do you think of the new sculpt as opposed to the old one?
I've never seen the old one.
Oh, you've never seen it?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, interesante.
So I guess I have no opinion on that right now. I do like it, though.
That seems like a really cool sculpt. Gee, the Hypersapien, what's up? Gee, my man. How you been, brother? Share this in our Discord. Slapping pigments on Boss Nickrod. You want to come on and paint with us? We're doing some painting tonight, too. New videos. Sharing this to our Frosted Discord. Boop. And over on the Bookface. Mini Warmbutt. Hello, Oni. Oh, yeah. Hello, Mythos. Well, hello to you too, Brother Brian. I guess hello to Mythos too.
It's like, oh, you're there too. Well, hello.
You can join both, G, my man. We're live. We're love. We're live, painting, and chatting. Come join us. All right, we are now shared on the Bookface as well. I've moved my mouse and it's got me all discombobulated.
Mm-mm.
The mouse is one of the few things that I do the whole like somebody moved my desk 2 inches to the right and it bothers me kind of thing. My mouse gets moved and I'm just like, I don't know how to handle it. All right, guys. I personally am shared around now. So I'm in our stream. Yes, you are live. Love? I like to think I'm loved.
But are you, though?
That's cold, man. That's real cold. So you're working on Azrael. Did you get any other hobby done this week, brother? What you got for a poke chat? Nothing.
Nothing.
Got nothing done. That's cool.
Actually, no, I tried working on that lioness, y'all.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I take that back. Yeah,
you have been hard at work on that. That thing's needed a lot of work. It's so gorgeous, though.
I hate it.
Gorgeous. I appreciate you.
I hate it.
Where is Freak? Freak is currently resting. He had some surgery done this week, and he said he wanted to try and be here, even if he was hopped up on meds. I told him that'd be a fun show, but But yeah, he's going to need tonight to recuperate and rest. So everybody, if you can, send him a message, show him some love, let him know you're thinking about him, and maybe the positivity, the power of positivity will help him feel better all the faster. This man said, "Yeah, I'm supposed to take the rest of the week off work, but I'm gonna try and be back in the office next week." I'm like, "Back in the office? Yeah, you're having legit surgery?" "Yeah, I think I'll be fine." I'm like, I don't know anybody who gets, who just gets up after a week from surgery. So, but he's a strong-minded, strong-willed man. We'll see.
Was that Freak?
Yep. We love you, Freak. Well, I do. Can't speak for everyone. I love how after he says, I can't speak for everyone, he just gets quiet. I myself right now am working on, I always say it's kind of a reference to, Dark Souls, Lord Sunbro. But it is my Lord Solar Leontus. Man on horse. So here is his faithful horsey. Jesus. Why am I so blurry? Ah, there we go. Apparently the camera was focused like 2 inches away. Here is the man himself, which I'm pretty pleased with how the two-tone cape is coming out. Normally I don't fool with two-tone capes because they can be a pain in the butt, especially for airbrushing. Oh, here we go. Again, just get super close with this. Yeah, but I decided to go for like a noble white on the inside and then have my Cadian colors on the outside of the cloak. So, nice shading and stuff there. We had Grumpy Guy Gaming come on and explain his theories on getting in the best shades and highlights with cloaks while he was on the channel. And yeah, I've been doing some cape work myself. Obviously, my metallics are still too bright. They need some washes and stuff like that. And I'm doing something I don't normally do. Normally in 40K, I like to have the power effects showing on my weapons. And I'm back and forth because on my Astra Militarum, because they're more normal soldiers. They're humans. They kind of reflect, a similarity with modern thoughts on warfare, except for, of course, the melee weapons there. Oh man, I could see with that super zoomed up camera. I need to go back and clean up that gold on my the cape there. Anyways, so I leave my metallics just metal on things like the sword and stuff like that. And all my Space Marines and all that, I tend to do like glowy power effects. But this is like the Lord Solar. He's got to have one of the best power swords in the Militarum. So I don't know. I might do glowy. I've even played with the idea, and you guys let me know what you think, of leaving it metallic and then maybe just like put a strip of like the glint of energy off of like the middle of the sword somewhere. Me talking about how Freak just wants to power through his surgery. Hellwork says Freak's from the rub some dirt on it generation. I mean, yeah. I mean, but no, you know what? I was gonna say make a joke there, but the man is literally laying down right now, and heaven be it for me to to kick a man while he's down. No picking on he who cannot be here himself to defend himself. Oh, also, here is the base. I decided to go for like a darker kind of maroony red for the Titan here because I don't want it to be too bright because my army is green. And, if you go too much into the red-green spectrum, it starts to feel very Christmassy. And I didn't want to do like the box art with the black Titan underneath because, well, the secondary color for my guard is black armor. Usually black and green armor. And so since there's already a lot of green, already a lot of black, I decided to go for red, but a very dulled down red. So, and I think I'm going to use instead of the bright silver, I'm going to use the Vallejo liquid gold silver. I'm not silver, liquid gold. Because it's a very greeny gold, which I think the green will, complement the green of the army, but also it'll give it that kind of tarnished and faded and worn kind of gold feel. So that's my idea. Hellworks, I'm talking about the power sword. Hellworks says, put some glowy. Freak is my sexy Stay Tuft bow tie wearing beast. It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's awesome. Who thought about the Marshmallow Man? Ray? It's always Ray, guys. It's always Ray. Because of the shine, because I haven't matted down these paints yet, I couldn't even see where I overspilled some of the gold on the cape there. Showing it up to a nice zoomed in camera, though, was definitely a good way for me to spot my mistakes. You guys ever do that? You guys are really proud of a paint job, and then you zoom in and take a picture to share, and then you find all your mistakes on that zoomed in picture, like, shit. I mean, probably not Oni, because Oni doesn't make mistakes. But anyone else?
I just throw it away. It's like, how dare you?
That's how I ended up with Gamora. This man said he was ready to throw it away. Oh, I found it. Everyone who's been following for a while is that
yeah, you found it when I was there.
Yeah, everyone's following, and I was like trying to find this model on the show that I'd bought from him. Because he was literally going to throw it away. I'm like, whoa, let's keep it in the family. Next thing you know, you're like, I get home, and apparently I put it up in the container with my Space Wolves, and I didn't realize it. I searched everything else but the Space Wolves. Man, I tore apart my house looking for that model. I'm like, I know I brought it home. It was in the case with my Space Wolves all along.
What made you look in that container anyways? I forgot. You were looking for something else.
Oh, because we were playing boarding actions, and I had my dice in there.
Oh, that's right.
I had... The Space Wolves were keeping her safe all along.
Oh, that's right. You're taking out your sister's dice because they were in there.
Yeah.
Your loaded dice.
My loaded dice. Man, my dice. I played a game last night, guys. I'm going to show you guys some pictures. The biggest game of 40K I've ever played. 2,500 points, and they were pretty balanced. There were some times where I rolled a lot of low numbers, times I rolled a bunch of high numbers. But I think one moment that just changed the horse of the game from losing to winning was I fired with just a regular, unupgraded Lehman Russ battle tank, the El Clasico with the Lehman Russ battle cannon and heavy bolters. And I rolled a hit. I rolled for number of shots, and I got full number of shots. And then I rolled a hit, and I got, I think it was 5 or 6 auto hits. Hit sixes, and when you hit sixes, I was taking born soldiers, so I hit and wounded in the. Oh, geez, how long has G been there? I didn't notice.
Again, Mythos. Get your shit together.
I do need to get my shit together. Gee, man. Hey, brother, I hope you weren't waiting there long, brother.
Nah, not long at all. Just about half hour.
I'm sorry.
Nah, only just joined.
So yeah, I got, when you hit sixes with born soldiers, it auto wounds too. And this was against one of his big, heavy duty Vanquisher battle cannon tanks. And Vanquishers are the ones that do mortal wounds, go straight through your armor, straight through your invul saves. It's crazy. So that was big. I was like, oh shit, I can't talk about my dice rolling anymore.
Yeah, I hate that tank.
The Vanquisher is a beast. And G, my man, you said you're working on Snickrot tonight.
Yeah, so I did a bit of a video for the skin that I was working on. And
Nice.
I basically wrapped that up last night. It's
Dude,
a pretty long video, so I still need
so
to edit
good.
that down. But yeah, last night I chucked on some color on the pants. I started to work on basically all of his weapons. I did some of the silvers on the knives. He's got the dog tags around him, like around his wrists. I've basically started to base coat most of the stuff.
That's awesome. So it's starting to all come together.
So yeah, just before I jumped on, I did Corvus Black, which is a Citadel smoky black.
Yeah, it's like they're off black color.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice color. So obviously, Snickrot's a bit of a stealthy orc, so I don't really want to have him with bright colors. But I guess with orc lore, it kind of works as well. You know, if they believe they're stealthy, they probably are. But yeah, I'm kind of basing it off the Codex art a little bit,
Nice.
which are like really like smoky blues and bluey grays and green, like drab sort of colors on his backpack and stuff, which I actually didn't have. I didn't have one of those colors, so I just mixed. What do they call it? It's basically I think it's like Castellan green with Rhinox hide. So I just added some brown to that green just to give it that sort of really dark green with some brown tones in.
Very nice. I do know that Castellan green is really popular amongst orc players who like to do the very kind of skin tone kind of effect around like the lips and knuckles and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's sort of like a Cadian sort of color almost. It's obviously like an army natural neutral sort of green.
Yep.
So it's quite a nice color. I've just got so many colors that I don't use that much. I mean, I do use this one, but I've got so many natural and browns and greens. I mean, when you grab paints, a lot of times you grab, your reds and your yellows, all those sort of colors. But I started to enjoy browns and beiges and bone colors a lot more, like more natural looking colors. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of them.
You know, a lot of painters say that stuff like those more neutral colors are the colors you can just never have too many of.
Yeah, I feel like that in a way. I mean, you can blend and mix, but it's nice to have a color that you can go to. I mean, as I said before, I did mix a green and a brown together, but that was more because I didn't really have the kind of color that I wanted. But the last time I grabbed paints, I grabbed Baneblade Brown, Catachan Flesh, and I sort of go with those kind of colors now. I like those just to build up my paints.
Nice.
With a lot of those sort of browns and natural colors.
Snickrod, is that a new McDonald's milkshake? I mean, coincidentally, they do still have their green shakes out now from St. Patty's Day. Go get your Snickrod flavored milkshake. It's got all the nutrition of,
That's wrong.
It's got all the nutrition of...
It's got all those healthy squig fats.
Yeah, squig fats. It's got your B vitamins from, the mushroom, getting your daily dose of mushrooms.
Yeah, you get your 5 a day.
This guy coming and drinking a lot of shakes. Hey, he said CrossFit Fit said it was nutritious.
He's getting more staunch each time he comes in. I don't know what's happening.
I need to find my Snickrot in my bits collection somewhere. I remember I bought it off of eBay, and then I found out that he's locked to blood axes, and I can't actually play him in my in my Groffs. Jesus, where are my words tonight?
Imagine if you could play him with your Space Wolves.
He's so sneaky, the wolves don't even know he's there.
Yeah.
Just helping in the background.
That's like some Dawn of the War stuff. Of the video game when you work with other races.
Yep.
But I think it's the Elder were helping the humans, and the humans don't even know because the Elder are so stealthy and just going through portals and stuff.
Mini War Mutt. Well, 3 more grots, and I have completed the Runt Herd and Gretchen set. Nice. It's funny. I painted up my Runt Herd, and I really just painted it up because he looks cool with the whip and everything. And he went unused, painted but unused on my shelf for a long time. But then after the Beast Snaggers came out, I was like, he's wearing some fur trim and stuff like that. He looks kind of tribal-y. And so I ended up just sticking him in with my Beast Snaggers and running him. I run him with my Snagga Boys now as an extra body. I would like since I painted them up, I would like for them to be, usable at some point, but we shall see. So I mentioned earlier I had a big game last night, and I took a few pictures I want to show you guys if I can remember how to screen share. We all know last time I did this, it took me about 10 minutes to get the screen share going. Okay, maybe not actually 10 minutes, but it felt like a long time. So we'll take a look in just a second. I actually thought to myself, okay, I'm not going to start on these metallics yet because I'm going to need to go operate the keyboard in a second. And then I went on autopilot and started painting the metallics. Oh, gee, while I've got you here, speaking of poke chops and what we've done this week, I stayed up and finished my cans after the show last week, and I haven't shown you yet because I've been meaning to take pictures and put them up in the Discord.
What size
And
are your cans now?
Bees. Okay, so here's one of the ones I was working on, the one with the two arms. And I liked the two fist thing, but then I ended up cutting off one of his hands and putting a drill on it. And this is from actually I'm sorry, this drill here is actually from some Transformers Decepticon kit that I found files for. So that was cool. It was like, huh?
Looks spacey as.
Oh yeah, just I actually his arms were pinned so flat to his sides, and it looked a little unnatural. So it's funny when you buy a Contemptor Dreadnought from Forge World, they for some reason always send you 2 extra feet, and I have like 6 different Contemptor Dreadnoughts. And so I've got just a whole bunch of extra feet around the house. And of course, you never throw away extra bits, right? Even though, like, when I kept them, I was like, I'm never going to use these extra feet. What am I going to use them for? But if I just a little bit of reshaping, they actually made perfect shoulder pieces between the arms sockets and the bodies. And the ankle joint had the perfect ball joint to socket right into the arms of the toy robot arms. So yeah, I finally got to use what I thought was essentially a useless bit. I really love how I did the 2 rockets up here to make kind of pseudo eyes as the rockets, but then I used the Death Dread jaw and the teeth, and it makes like a big ass face. Like that looks so orky. And of course, you got the Goblin Driver there. Last week, while we were still on the show, I'd done all of the steering wheels in like a charcoal gray kind of color, but I thought it blended in too much to the black forklift, and so I made it pop out with some red. And then this is the last one. So this is everything I got done for last week's challenge. I just need to post it up in the Discord.
It's like he lost a hand and then he just stuck some missiles on the side.
Yeah. He went to tinkering.
Yeah.
So I really love the way these came out. And then normally I have everything pretty uniform in my army, but for some reason, I guess because these guys are the exact same print for the 3 different drivers, I went with 3 different skin tones for the grots. And even though they're in the same pose and everything, gives them each a different feel.
Yeah, having all that stuff around them, it just gives them different sort of character.
So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way those cans came out. I'm looking forward to, now that I have, you guys have seen me paint up the Mega Dread, and I've got like 5 Death Dreads, and now I've got these 3 Killicans. I want to do a Dread Mob. So
Well, I have to say, you've got a nice set of cans.
Why, thank you. Like the old Total Recall movie with the triple cans. Are they beer cans? Yes, because these grots are lit. And Mythos is full-blown kit basher now. So proud. Thank you, Brad. That means a lot from a kit basher like yourself. All right, let's see now if I can show you lads some pictures. And these aren't orc pictures, so I can't joke about getting my knob out.
I've got one I prepared earlier.
Share screen. Messenger. Share tab audio. Hey, got it on the first try there.
Nice.
right. So here. Where's my audio?
Boop. Points a piece. There is so much. Once again, the biggest battle.
Okay, that's deployment. Hold on. Looking at the armies first.
Go.
All right, so this is mine. 2,505 points.
This is Brother Atlas's.
Astrobilitar. I got 2 HQ choices.
Krieg
One is
Dust
the,
Devils.
what did we call it?
Field Marshal.
Field Marshal.
Yeah.
Field Marshal with just a bolt gun and a chainsword.
Keegan, my man.
Squad. With a bodyguard, a las cannon, a banner, not the big bullshit banner, but just a regular banner, and a medic. They have the death mask for the 4-up invuln saves.
Okay.
And the last one is Atomic Blonde. That is my tank commander, but I actually went with the Vanquisher cannon on it and a las cannon. It does not have the relic.
Do you guys name any of your tanks? I know that was an Imperial Guard thing for a long time.
5 groups of Kriegsmen. All of them are equipped with chain swords, plasma pistols, grenade launchers, melta-guns, plasma guns, and a medic. They will all be riding in a base Tarox with just 2 autocannons. We have, in the fast attack, 2 Hellhounds with chem cannons and heavy flamers.
Why is it spicy?
And a group of 3 armored sentinels with las cannons.
G, do you have you named any of your vehicles? Bless you, Odie.
Thank you.
For the elite choices, we just have 2 groups of
Technically, I only have one.
engineers.
I'm
with
waiting
just the
for
shotguns.
the land force.
I just call her Old Rusty.
For heavy support, we have a group of Lehman Russes. 2 of them are equipped with just Vanquishers and las cannons.
You said you're going to name
Old-timer
your
is
land
equipped with
fortress?
a Vanquisher and 3 heavy
Once
bolters.
it actually kills
And he's the
something.
only tank piece
okay.
I have that has a meticulous calibrator. And then 2 of the Earthshaker batteries.
I love
And
how
last
he
heavy
based
choice
those up in the
is
desert
K9,
there.
the Demolisher.
Yeah, it looks really different than most people's
I
army.
can't believe this little guy's a heavy supporter.
Yes.
Especially since his
Man, I talked
His attack
shit
is just
about
not
this
that
little
good.
guy,
No, it's
and it
not.
actually
And then
dealt quite a
just
few
2,
damage to my army.
2 Chimeras with heavy bolters.
Very nice.
That's it.
Your regimental doctrines.
My regimental doctrines are elite sharpshooters and the what is it called? Where they can hop out and shoot.
In mechanized
rifle.
infantry.
Mechanized infantry. There you go.
So these 2 batteries
Very
here,
cool.
these are actually
2,500 points of
And
the
5.
Dust Devils.
2,505 points.
There you go.
Yes, you named your tank Frank.
All right.
Frank the Tank. Very nice, Mini Warbot. Always love the desert theme. Yes, so you can see he has a desert theme. He calls his army the Krieg Dust Devils right now. And so the really cool thing is that those basilisks are actually from his vehicle. And just to keep it portable, he always left the basilisk turret removable from the top. Well, the basilisks themselves have been really nerfed with the new codex, but the Forge World Basilisk batteries, where it's just the gun emplacement in on land with no tracks, no movement or whatever, is actually really good now because you can give them orders like infantry. And so since his just neatly comes off, he made those really cool desert dunes built up around, like they're actually dug in and entrenched around his basilisks, which is really cool. So yeah, it's really cool how he made terrain and turned it like very story-wise and thematic from this big vehicle piece to this really nice dug in weapon emplacement. This was my army.
2,500 points on the nose of the 195th Cadian Fireflies. The Fireflies today will be led by a Cadian version of the Lord Solar Leontis.
That's what I'm
Half
paying right
painted,
now.
I know. Shame.
You smashed out your army.
Lord Solar's first
Thank
outing.
you. Still working
With-
on him.
This is going to be my Cadian Sly Marbro today. Sly Mythos. We have a field marshal here with an Ogren bodyguard. Much like my brother, we are also running a Juggernork. So I've got a Ogren bodyguard, the commander, the officer with the power sword, Voxcaster, plasma gun, and this I forgot my medic model.
I didn't find my medic wherever I put her.
So this is going to be my medic. This flag is a flag that lets you know you can come here for healing. That's what it is.
Nailed it.
I've got 2 squads of Kazerkin kitty girls, my Katzerkin. The red bases.
He almost sounds like a Latin radio DJ.
Katzerkin will have brutal strength as their extra regimental trait. And these ones here, the blue ones, will have heirloom weapons, giving them an extra 6 inches to their range. The brutal strength will give them can move and fire heavy weapons without penalty, and also give them 1 extra buff in combat. We've got a full mortar pit because the Fireflies are known for their lights in the sky. So full 9 mortar batteries. Here we've got the Rogeldorn, equipped with the Castigator, the Presser Cannon. There we go, and the Gatling Cannon. We've got the this is going to be my tank commander with battle cannon, las cannon.
Gatekeeper.
We have here my Demolisher tank. Another battle cannon, and here we have a gift from Freak. This will be my Vanquisher tank ace with elite sharpshooters. Las cannon.
That Vanquisher didn't
and
work.
Freak so kindly upgraded me here with Meltas.
Little fact,
rocking the Meltas.
unknown fact, the Vanquisher is
3
actually Oni's favorite
armored
tank in all of the
sentinels.
Astro
You can see marked on their legs. There's 01, 02, and 03, 2 plasmas, and
I'm
a
kicking the
las cannon.
shins.
They also, I have paid for their Hunter Killer missiles. I did not get the Hunter Killer missiles painted up in time, so we'll have to imagine the Hunter Killer missiles.
The Hunter Killer
Super
missiles are
WYSIWYG,
sitting
guys,
here on my
Super
desk,
WYSIWYG.
still unpainted.
We've got a Manticore. I know no one's playing them right now. They're considered awful right now, but
It was bad.
it looks good, and I want to bring it because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Coming over to
It
the
looks
troops,
so
'cause
cool,
it
and they're
always
so
comes
bad on the
down
tabletop.
to the soldier and his las gun, right? We've got 3 squad of Cadian shock troops, led by sergeants with drum-fed autocannons.
Video
See
mythos
the
on
little
is
drum
awful.
magazine on the
Real
side
life
there.
mythos. Let me stop them right there. They were awful.
3 squads of them. Each of them are rocking the Meltoplasma combo and a Voxcaster. And over here, we've got 3 infantry squads, each of them rocking a plasma pistol and chainsword. And their special weapons are going to be a grenade launcher and las cannons in the back, a little extra firepower. And that is going to be 2,500 points of the Cadian Fireflies.
Yeah, the Manticore
Here
was
we
so
have-
bad. It's so bad. All right, finally, here's our deployment, and then I'll just show you some pictures instead of the videos.
Battle I've ever participated. Once again, the biggest battle I've ever participated in. 2,500
Look
points
at it.
apiece.
It's
There is
so
so
much.
much guard on
My
the
deployment zone
tabletop
is
here.
full, guys.
And over here,
Absolutely
it looks
full.
a little emptier, but that's because everything is in transports. There's not one foot slogging soldier. And that means all these vehicles are just going to come pouring out with guardsmen like ants out of an anthill. So many guns lined up on both sides, guys. This is going to be an epic battle.
So you guys can
Guys.
see, like the reason I'm showing you guys this tonight is this was meant. Hey, sweet kitty, this was meant to be a battle report, and you can kind of hear at the end of this video it starts to rain, and we're in a shed. You can probably tell by the lighting. We're in a shed, and the shed has an aluminum roof. And after this video segment, it really starts pounding down the rain. We're having to, even standing across the table from each other, we're having to yell at each other. Hi, sweet boy. We're having to, oh, thank you. We're having to yell at each other across the table. Oh, somebody being so sweet.
So like, I'm shooting your tank. It's like, you want to touch my what? No, I'm shooting your tank. Yeah, I mean, you can come over here and touch it.
So, yeah, we ended up not being able to record. We just ended up taking pictures.
So many guns lined up on both sides,
Yep.
guys.
You can hear the
This
sound of
is going to
rain
be
on
an
aluminum.
epic battle. Once again, the biggest battle I've ever participated in. 2,500.
Please tell me you just destroyed those vehicles before they unloaded. A couple of them, most of them did manage to get over and unload just because I was focusing on other targets. Those hellhounds have these nasty chemical flamers that can just absolutely wipe out entire swathes of guardsmen in one shot. Actually, two shots, because like it's got its top-mounted flamer that can wipe out a squad, and then its chest-mounted one can wipe out another. They're pretty nasty against infantry. And the chem cannon actually does 2 damage, so they're really good at wiping out things like, Space Marines as well. Greetings, Alfarius. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. So here's some of the pictures from the night. This was after the pictures are whenever I post them to Messenger, they get kind of shuffled out of order. So this is after I got to go first, but that's after they started to shuffle forward. This is the beginning of my turn 1, and you can see most of everything just shuffled forward and spread out around, because this big thing in the middle was ruins, so we couldn't shoot through them. So we're kind of, you can see we're kind of making a Y shape going around the ruins to try and get good lines of fire. And even though this big manticore here can shoot out of line of sight, because they've made it really bad for them to be able to aim. In most cases, you're hitting on 5s now, trying to aim out of line of sight. So try to get around to get a better line of sight for them. Tank commanders over here, giving the manticore reroll 1s. Over here, I'm sitting back covering this objective with a squad who's mounting their las cannon on top. Got some of my tanks just rolling forward here. Vanquisher taking advantage of its distance. And my other battle tank over here, Lehman Russ battle cannon. The Sentinels over here. My Kazarkin are behind the Lord Solar in the middle. Oh, and this is my Dorn over here. Here's the other battle cannon. This is my Dorn. So, yeah, everything just kind of rolled up at the beginning of the turn. We took some shots, and we managed. This is from the other angle. Again, having all of the guard just spread out across my side of the table just looks so thematic. This was really enjoyable. Over here, at the end of my turn, those 2 big hellhounds that were over here with the flamers and chem cannons, we had managed to destroy both of those. And we couldn't focus fire as much as we would have liked to because of the way the terrain was. I decided to go for spreading out my shots and not taking the -1 to hit through dense terrain. So you can see here some red dice kind of scattered all over. We did some damage to the Sentinel, some damage to this Torox over here, some damage to this Torox. So my damage is very spread out right now. But where I did focus fire was getting rid of those 2 flamer tanks. Back on this side of the table, same thing. We pushed up. And at the end of his shooting phase, notice there's some holes in my area. So 1 whole squad of one whole squad of infantry wiped out right at the beginning. Two of my sentinels also deleted, but the big thing, the big ass Rogel Dorn was gone. Oh man, that hurt my feelings. That's my brand new painted tank. I just got it for Valentine's Day. It was my first game putting it on the table, guys. And you guys know it's always the first thing to go. It did some tanking though. It's got toughness 9. It's got 17 wounds. It took some punches. It took shooting from all 4 of his Vanquisher tanks to punch through and kill it off finally. So I was really pleased that it managed to absorb so much punishment. And in my shooting phase, it's one of the things that killed off one of those Hellhound tanks. So I gave full rerolls from the Lord Solar here. And pew pew, yes, there was lots of pew pew. You can see I've got my Kazarkin. I'm trying to attack in waves instead of just sending out all my best soldiers at once. So I left one squad of Kazarkin back here. The bodyguard, the Lord Solar, and I sent one squad forward. Unfortunately, they just didn't have quite the movement to get around this big piece of terrain in time to help in some of our situations. But, so not only that, hit one of his basilisks. I had killed. Oh, that's the other thing I killed off in his turn. I killed off one of the 2 basilisks. The other basilisk shot back and wiped out 2 of my 9 mortars over here. So the basilisk still packs a decent punch, guys. So that's what just one of them did. And if he had gotten to go first, I very well would have lost, I think, a good chunk of my mortar pit. So his counterpunch took a lot from me. It took away my biggest tank, the Rogel Dorn. It took away 2 of my sentinels, quite a bit of my mortar pits, and one of my infantry squads. I was I was a little worried at this point. You can see this from his angle. His Vanquisher tanks had pushed out, coming out from behind the terrain. Something he does really well is utilizing the terrain. And somehow because he didn't have any troops or anything to hide, they were all in transports. He was able to get behind all the cover, and I really couldn't get any shots at his more important tanks at the beginning of the match. Maybe I really should start trying to hide my tanks a little better, but I like the idea of keeping my mortars out of line of sight. So I don't know. This could be an idea to adopt. But yeah, so you can see he perfectly came out from cover, and like I said, all 4 of his tanks here managed to shoot into my big Rogel Dorn. Orange chicken arrived. Back later. Nice. Enjoy dinner, brother. So yeah, my side looking very empty after that turn. My turn. I brought the Katzerkin up over here and managed to help take out this tank. And okay, so on this turn, notice in his second turn, my other tanks are gone. This side, only one of my my Vanquisher is still left, and it's taken some wounds, and both of these are dropped and bracketed. So, like, I'm lost most of my armor here, and I just had mostly troops. And it looked like my tanks were on its last legs, but it swung around. Like, at that point, I was telling Atlas, I'm like, brother, I think this might be your game. I don't know if I can come back from this. And then it really, like, the next turn just really swung around in my favor, and I was extremely lucky. Oh, not only that, you can see here on the right, he had he shot off and cleared the infantry on the objective and charged them. Got his own troops on the objective. He tied up another one of my squads in combat with this truck here, so potentially shutting down their firepower. And so yeah, he really took some good control of the board here. And like I said, I'd started to tell him, look at that you saw how empty my side was. Look how full. Still had all these tanks. I'd stripped away a few wounds during my turn from his big tanks, but he still had all his tanks. He still had a good number of his transports, and his troops were over fighting me off of to the objectives. It looked grim, and I was like, brother, I think this is going to be your match. Oh, yeah, he had even done a decent job surrounding my troops on this flank over here. You can see where his Chimera had pulled up, his Torox, and his dudes had gotten out to engage my troops. This, I pulled Freak's Vanquisher tank ace around, and I had moved him over here. Freak had been so kind as to equip Meltas on this tank, and so I was trying to get the Meltas in range, and between getting the Meltas in range here, and I brought my Kazarkin over here, which Kazarkin, if you guys don't know, they are the elites of the elites when it comes to Militarum. They've got all the special weapons. They just do tons of damage. They're very fragile. I had my Lord Solar give this group full rerolls, and I used a strategy called Ingrained Precision to be able to auto wound on 5s instead of 6s, and they just neatly took out this full health tank. It was amazing. So that got me out of hot water, and then because they ended up killing the tank on their own, the Freak tank ace was able to shoot down range and blow up. You can see both of his Vanquishers back here. His big tanks are all gone. That swung things around, and I was able to pick up all 4 of his tanks on his turn. So that was super, super needed. By the end, that's where the game really turned around, because once the tanks were gone, and I still had they were very low on health, and I didn't think my tanks were going to be able to take us back, because they had I think 3 and 4 health apiece, and I just got really lucky with my dice rolls. That's what I was talking about earlier, that one of my tanks rolled 6 auto hits and blew up one of his tanks. So that's the end of the game right there. He had brought in his engineers up from reserves. You can see here, I pretty much control the board here. I've got this objective that you see me standing on. I've got the center objective here, and I've got 2 back on my side of the board. 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives. I'm scoring 5 points for holding 2 or more, another 5 for holding 3 or more, and then another 5 for holding more than my opponent. So after that, the rest was just pretty much fighting, but I'm pulling ahead on points. So being able to take out all 4 tanks was pretty much the big turn of the game in my favor. It really looked like I was going to be losing by a landslide, and it really turned around at the end. And I think those were the best games where you just really don't know who's going to win at the end. It's a nail biter. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. And we're back to our beautiful faces. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty sharp. I got a haircut today. Looking all clean cut. So the Lord Solar doesn't do a lot of fighting, but man, him giving out all those rerolls for sure definitely made him a key component to my victory last night. So we got to finish up his paint job. Looking all fresh. Thank you so much. I agree. Love the good nail biter games. Absolutely. A landslide, I'd feel like doesn't really feel good on either side. It doesn't feel that good being the victor in a landslide, and it doesn't feel good, being the one to get dribbled on in a landslide.
Okay, Nisos.
But a close game. Oh, they're always the most fun to me. That was not a statement for anyone I've played with or against in the past, guys.
Okay.
But yeah, after all the, like, Lord Solar himself didn't really do anything, but the constant rerolls throughout the game, I'm like, man, he was definitely a great, good part of my turnaround there at the end. So, oh, and because they have, he gives people reroll everything. One of the things I did with my cat girls was I popped ingrained precision, which means instead of auto wounding on 6s, they now, for that turn, auto wound on 5s and 6s. And then the Lord Solar's reroll ability, he can pick one unit and let them reroll everything to hit. And then if they're core, they can also reroll everything to wound. Well, what I did was, since it's reroll everything, I took the stratagem to auto hits in 5s and 6s. And then anything that wasn't a 5 or 6, I went ahead and rerolled anyways, even if it would have hit. You know, fishing for those auto wounds. Because, you know, strength 4 lasgun against a tank, you know, it's not super likely to wound. But when you're wounding automatically, you know, it becomes a really strong lasgun. And being that they were hotshot lasguns, they hotshot lasguns, they have tons of AP, especially with take aim. So it turns a lasgun into -4 AP. That's the same armor piercing value of a melt-a-gun. You know, that's more than a las cannon. It's crazy. They're just very intense laser beams. Pew pew. TMP, the man, the myth, the legend. One of the best Space Wolf painters on the internet. Or at least he used to be. I believe he's been doing something with the Tau lately. I don't know.
Favorite army.
Also, he picked up a box of boys. Welcome to the WA TMP, baby.
Finally picked the right side.
Yep. Thank you, brothers. You are welcome, my brother. You know, everybody loves and respects your work. I don't know why I had to say it like that. Yo work. Yo. Man, guys, I really want to start telling you guys secrets. We got something really, really big coming for the channel. Big news for us anyways. And we hope you'll enjoy. But we got something really fun coming to the pipes. We got to work out some agreements. But yeah, it's going to be very neat indeed.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell them we're franchising our Chippendales shows.
Finally.
And G is on the show tonight as our guest because he'll be heading up our Australian branch. If you guys want to see G the Hyper Sapien in a bow tie, please make sure you smash that like button and let him know that you're eagerly awaiting. Oh man, just started putting up my gold paint because I was like, and that's all the gold trim. Guys, when you're painting chaos, you're never done with the gold trim.
You're painting chaos?
Well, his base comes with a chaos titan at the bottom.
Oh. I was about to say, trying to paint chaos? Without telling me?
Now, we know on this channel you are the daddy of chaos, and I would have to clear that with you. I think if I did play chaos, I don't really like them as an army, though. As far as colors go, like I've painted a couple of Thousand Suns.
Duck you too.
What?
I don't really like their colors.
Oh no, what I was saying is, I like painting Thousand Suns. I've painted a few for the base, like because they're rivals. In a lot of the Space Wolf box sets, they give you little bits of like dead Thousand Suns armor to put on your bases. And I enjoyed painting those. They look good on my bases. And I would probably enjoy painting more Thousand Suns. But man, I'm not really interested in them as far as play style and army.
You mean like this?
No, I like their later.
No, I mean like I was gonna say like this Thousand Sun.
I really like the teal armor on the Thousand Suns, although the red looks good too.
Oh no, that's Black Legion.
Oh, okay, Black Legion. That's right.
Yeah, the only thing that's red on them is just the
robes.
Yep.
Gotcha. I have a lot of orcs. I might have to do another pile of shame video. Nice. Nice that you have a bunch of orcs, not the shame part. You mean another pile of opportunity? Although I don't think you do have a pile of opportunity. I think they're very neat and organized racks of opportunity. The racks of shame. It sounds like a torture device. The racks of shame.
Does sound like you're starting to go to the chaos. Starting to enjoy it. The chaos gods are influencing you.
If I ever did paint chaos, I would have to replace somebody's power sword with a red lightsaber. Oh my God. Has anyone seen the trailer for Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so good. I got a force boner from it.
I got a real one.
I cannot wait. And I've really been loving The Mandalorian too.
I need to watch the new season.
It's very good.
The last episode was a little bit strange.
I enjoyed it. Big shout out. This is nothing spoilery, but as guest stars in the last episode, it was kind of a star-studded last episode. Big shout out to Lizzo, Jack Black.
Oh yeah, I did see like screenshots. Yeah, I saw screenshots of their characters.
Yeah, pretty star-studded cast this week.
The style reminded me of Clone Wars or the prequel movies a fair bit.
Oh yeah,
had that sort of vibe to it.
Oh, but it's so cool because like it's a lot of the machines from that era, and I guess they were like I could see where people who are like, well, this army left all this stuff on our planet. We might as well use them for security. But I always loved the droids from the Clone Wars. But, like at the time, they were done with the limitations of technology at the time, right? And so, like the big battle droids, they look like a guy stuck in, skinny jeans. Like they should, the way they walked. They look like they were wearing a schmedium shirt, and so they couldn't put their arms down, Like there was very stiff movement. But, with the current technology that they could put into it, like these things were moving around, being badasses. They looked great. So I enjoyed it. I really loved the aesthetic designs from that period.
So is the same actress playing Ahsoka?
No.
Yep, Rosario Dawson. It's her.
Oh, I don't know. For some reason, I thought you were talking about Hera. Hera Syndulla.
Ah. Oh, the
Twi'lek from Rebels.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. Probably one of my favorites from that series.
Yeah. Indeed, immediately. As soon as I saw her, don't get me wrong, she is gorgeous looking as Ahsoka. But man, a lot of the fight choreography with her and those twin white lightsabers too. Oh man, so good. Good night, Hellworks, my man. She is like the perfect Ahsoka.
Yeah, she was really good from what we saw of her already.
Oh, I wanted to show you guys too. We're going to do another screen share real quick. So, I'm also a video gamer in addition to being a tabletop gamer. And in the upcoming season of Overwatch, they are doing some skins that look very 40K inspired. Now, there's a lot of parallels because Overwatch is done by Blizzard. Blizzard makes StarCraft. There's a lot of aesthetic similarities between Overwatch and StarCraft and 40K, right? And so when my wife said, "Oh, this upcoming skin looks like a 40K thing. You're gonna like it," I was like, probably StarCraft because they're so similar. We all know that Tyranids and
StarCraft started off as being a Warhammer 40K game before GW pulled a license from Blizzard.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Right.
It was. Yeah. So then they obviously just at last minute changed a few little bits and pieces.
Exactly.
Blizzard, StarCraft was like 90% done, and they just didn't want to scrap it, so they just changed.
Changed the name, changed a few things. Exactly. And so when I heard that, I was like, oh, you're probably talking about, StarCraft. But, some of this is so...
Yeah, the orcs from Warcraft, some of my favorite. I like how they're not just stupid. They developed them really well. I love the way they look. They're sort of like dreads and long hair and stuff. Looks awesome.
Agreed.
Because they even had armor in Halo, the new Halo. They even had armor that looked like Space Marines in that as well.
Space Marines. Every time somebody says Space Marines, I feel like I have to hear it in my head as the Space Marine video game from where the war boss says Space Marine. Space Marine. Skins and items. There we go. Ew.
I just like that whole thing. Skins and it. Ugh.
It's just this. I was pulling up a video of the new skins, and this YouTuber's voice was just like seriously grating on my ears. All right, share screen Overwatch. Boop.
Commissar.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. You can see it right there. This new skin looks exactly like a commissar. It's so on the nose. I was like, oh my god. And the skin is called Galactic Emperor Sigma. It is so 40K. Oh man, I'm just.
That's what happened to old Barreleye. That's where he went.
Exactly. This is why he's no longer fighting the orcs. He is now doing some Overwatch for a while. So I saw this. I was exactly like, I just was like, oh my god, it's a commissar. And so I'm pretty hyped about that. I was thinking about taking maybe a little break from Overwatch, but no, clearly I must play this new season. There's another one. It's Hanzo. That looks pretty 40K. I saw it in the trailer. I don't know if it's going to be here in this video. That looked pretty Imperial Guard. Nope. So this is everything you unlock during the season. So, okay. For what's her name? Sojourn skin. Images. I can't find it. I'll have to show you guys later on. But yeah, I was just really surprised how on the nose that was for a commissar. For anyone interested, we will be doing an after party after the show, doing some hobbying together on a Zoom call. Which reminds me, I think I still don't have access to the Frost and Fist Zoom, so this will probably be in like 1 hour segments. Unfortunately, because of the way Zoom is set up, it makes you go through two-step verification if you miss a week. You go more than a week without logging in, and since I missed last week's Hobby Hangout, I've got to get a Freak to do the two-step verification.
And then he's resting tonight.
Yeah, he's resting tonight, so. Although I probably won't stay on super, super late tonight because I got to get up and take my daughter to a school function in the morning. They're supposed to be doing a fundraising car wash tomorrow, but if it gets storming tomorrow like it's been storming.
It's supposed to be clear tomorrow.
Okay. so you can get some riding in.
No,
No riding for you.
today's my last day with the bike.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically, I will ride it tomorrow to the dealership.
Oh, okay. You gonna give it any last spins on the way?
That is the last spin on the way to the dealership.
Zoom done lost their damn minds. That's just the way the digital culture is now. Almost everything's going to two-step verification because so many scammers out there. Will there be paint-flavored water? There's always paint-flavored water, my friend. Welcome back, Cookie.
I have some right here for you.
Yeah. Cheers. I actually do keep mine in a whiskey glass.
Mine's like a dip container.
Moonshine.
Sponsored by Doritos.
Cookie, are you knocking over my paints? Oh my goodness. Oh my, no, don't sniff the glue. Don't. Guys, look at the things we have to do to keep our kids off drugs. No huffing glue. There he goes. Keegan uses a purple solo cup. Ah. A man of the frat culture, I see. Man, I tell you, every time I think I've painted all the gold trim on this thing, it's just more.
That the chaos base topper.
Yep.
When I paint stuff like that, you think you've got everything, and then later on you see another bit that you missed after the paint's packed up.
Hey man, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Painting chaos isn't a scrubs game.
You right. You right. That's good because I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passengers. Okay, I'm done. Although, any of you who want to can feel free to finish those lyrics down in the comments below. Why not sniff the glue? If you think it's a pain, paint 15mm troops for Team Yankee. No, sir. Oh my God, that song is now stuck. You're welcome. All right, there, TLC.
Feel like I entered the Twilight Zone.
Do you just you're welcome yourself?
Oh no, Keegan said that song is now stuck in my head.
Oh.
You're like, okay, Mythos has officially lost it. We were in the middle of a live stream and he just started taking up both sides of the conversation. He was the host and the chat.
I mean, you did say you don't want no scrub.
Yeah, no, I don't want your number. No, I don't want to give you mine. And anyways,
See
No,
what
no.
happens when Freak's not around.
Keep going. Can't just start.
I mean, let's just ignore the guys in white. They're here to help you.
Wonder
Can't
if you
just
get
start
copyright for
singing.
this.
And then stop.
What'd you say, Oni?
So you can't just start singing and then stop.
I can do what I want. Okay, help me out, chat. I don't want your number. I don't want to give you mine. I don't remember what the third thing is. And then it's back to I don't want none of your time. What's that third thing? Go back and edit the description later to say from saying Warhammer chat to TLC discussion chat.
Freak comes back and says, I left for one day.
You're going to get a whole bunch of fans rocking up and clicking on it. And what the hell is this?
No, I don't want your number. No, I don't want to give you mine. And okay, Keegan, that's exactly where I got to. What's next, brother? Brother! I don't want to meet you nowhere. Thank you. No, I don't want to meet you nowhere. No, I don't want none of your time. Thank you. Oh, that was bothering me.
You're like, I can sleep better at night now.
Yes.
Yeah, before you had Google, you just had to lay there wide awake at night, just rocking back and forth,
Exactly.
wondering what the lyrics were.
Oh man, brother D from the Gamecraft Dragon put up a he posted up a thing on Facebook that said that really resonated with me, where it said, kids don't realize how easy they have it these days. Before now, if you don't know the lyrics to some song, you can just look it up on the internet. Back in our day, you just sang the wrong words until you were traumatized, finding out you were wrong 20 years later, singing the wrong words the whole time.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You ever get into arguments with your friends? Because like you're both singing it and somebody's like, dude, you know that's not the words, right? What do you think it is? Dude, that came out in 99. Yeah, not long ago. Oh, most definitely. You know how many arguments like that broke out in school? Of course. I think the most popular one for me was pour some shook up ramen. Ramen? Yeah. Soup.
Okay, so what's the next song on Frost and Fist karaoke? Karaoke time.
Well, I want to know how Stacy's mom never got into trouble.
Oh, you know.
She had her ways of staying out of trouble.
Let's just say the police station knew her really well.
Actually, it's funny because that same thing, not the Stacy's mom thing, the getting corrected on song lyrics happened to be not long ago. Gosh, one of my favorite bands I've been into this past year has been Ronnie. Ronnie is
In reverse.
Falling in Reverse. Thank you. Jesus, my brain is just tired tonight, guys. Falling in Reverse. Really been into them for the last year. And what I had been singing for several months was in the second one. He goes, "I'm not a zombie, but I feel like one." Self-induced, comatose, chemical days. And he says, my head, what I was singing, because what I thought it was absolutely wrong, and I'm aware of that now. I know if I'm forgetting this wrong, Oni's going to light me up. But I had thought for some reason what it was saying was, my head is always spinning from a physical revision, changes his body was going through. And my brother was like, "What did you just sing?" And I said it again. And he goes, "It's dizzy, blurry vision, right?" He goes, "I don't know how you got that." Oh, right.
That's when you should have responded with, "I was just testing you to see if you knew the song."
You passed.
You passed the flying colors, fam.
Yeah, man. And then, it was one of those that as soon as he said it, I could hear it, and my ears just turned red. I was like, "Oh, yeah, of course."
Isn't that weird when you hear the real lyrics or the right lyrics? All of a sudden it makes sense.
Yes.
Light bulb moment.
Full on light bulb. Yeah. Big shout out to my brother. Finally got his own place. He's done the roommate situation for so long. And he got his own space now. I know you offered a game last weekend, Oni, my man, but I was helping my brother move.
I did?
Yeah, you put in the chat with me and Freak. Anybody want a game next week while I'm off, or this week while I'm off? I thought.
Honestly, don't remember.
Anyways, yeah, that's what I was doing.
I was off doing things.
Things and stuff. Talking about Stacy's mom, PMP says she got it going on though. That she does, my friend. That she does.
One of those things was going off and getting a new bike.
Congrats on the new bike, by the way.
Thank you.
Should it be here Monday, Tuesday?
Maybe tomorrow, the latest Tuesday.
Ooh. You want to tell them about your new purchase?
Nah.
Okay.
Because I don't have it yet.
That's true. Talking about it too early might jinx it.
Watch us start talking about his. Yeah, there was an accident on the freeway. The straps just fell right off and it went flying.
No.
Like so, do I get a replacement? Yeah, no. It's like, damn it, Mister.
Yo, I'll be missing real fast. Keegan says that'd be badass if it was in tomorrow. Take the old one in and the new one home.
Yep. Well, the reason I'm going up there tomorrow to trade in because I got a call from my boss today. Asked me if I want to go to San Antonio next weekend. So
nice.
So I won't be able to. If it does come in during the week, I won't be able to pick it up during the week anyways, because I get off at 5 and they close at 6. And the only other time I can pick it up is during the weekend, but I won't be here during the next weekend.
That's a shame.
Nah, if it doesn't come in tomorrow and it comes in on Tuesday, I might do like a half day.
I was about to say, I'm taking a half day, guys. I am out of here.
Do a half day. It's like, but you just had a vacation. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
I got reasons.
Elster Nation, buongiorno. We have been sticking to hobby all night, as per usual, talking about Jesse's mom and Scrubs from TLC.
Stacy's mom, not Jesse's.
Oh, yeah, Jesse's girl, Stacy's mom.
That must have been a personal experience.
No, my brain went to the song Jesse's Girl for a second there. I wish I had Jesse's girl. Do, 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 do. So, yeah, we talked about Stacy's mom having it going on. We talked about Scrubs by TLC. Keegan in the chat helped me figure out some long forgotten lyrics. Does Stacy's mom have something going on? She absolutely does. We were talking about how she managed to, not get in trouble with the law all these years. There were some fan theories. But hey, that's just a theory. A bomb theory. Songs were definitely better in the past. I don't know, man. I still find songs I enjoy. After all, falling in reverse. Their stuff I like best is a lot of the redone stuff that's from the last year or so. But in general, I do love a lot of the songs in the past, though. The 80s, 90s, and more. I've been on a big punk kick lately, so in addition to listening to Falling in Reverse, I've been listening to some of his old band, like The Flood. So good. And who is it that does King for a Day? Pierce the Veil. Been listening to a bunch of Pierce the Veil lately.
I can't stand his voice.
Really?
Well, they're old. So, granted, he was a freaking teenager when.
Oh yeah, for the older stuff.
Yeah.
King for a Day is one of my favorite songs. I don't know if you guys have listened. Linkin Park is one of my all-time favorite bands. The loss of Chester Bennington definitely affected me very personally. But I have loved some of their um, newly released songs from before his passing. Lost is so good. Getting a new song from Chester this far after his passing, it's like a freaking present. And another one, and I feel horrible. I can't remember the new song that came out this past week, but it's really good too. Out of the two of them, Lost is definitely, the one I've been enjoying the most, though. Any other Linkin Park fans here?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Hybrid Theory is pretty damn good.
Oh my God, that is definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. Maybe my favorite album of all time.
Yeah, they really meshed music together well, different genres.
Yeah, and as a rule, most of my life I've never liked rapper hip, not never, but seldom liked rapper hip hop.
Yeah,
It's just not been my thing.
rap pretty well.
Huh?
Mike can rap pretty well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And their blend was something that just took me by surprise. And something that is often said in the cooking world is that if you can take a dish or an ingredient that normally people don't like, and somehow your version of that thing is something that they love, that's like a crowning achievement. It's real talent.
Have you heard Fort Minor, his other group?
I've heard a little bit of it. I haven't delved into it a lot.
Yeah, I can't say like every song is my sort of cup of tea, but there were a few of their singles are definitely good.
And this is a glimpse into a little bit of love me some Linkin Park. Yes. A little bit of a glimpse into the faults of Mythos's personality, guys. I sometimes don't adapt super well to changes in things that I love. And so, like when Hal Jordan stopped being Green Lantern, I stopped reading Green Lantern for a while. When Dick Grayson stopped being Robin, I stopped messing with Batman for a while. So I probably would have liked Mike's solo group or anything like that, but I was like, and to be honest, as much as I love Chester, I didn't listen. I like some of the singles, but I didn't really delve into a lot of his single stuff either because this isn't Linkin Park.
Yeah, it's like you need the DJ and you need the instruments and stuff as well. It definitely makes Linkin Park. It's like, when they're doing it on different beats or just it's not quite the same.
Exactly. But also, like, I think part of that's just my personality. It's not this thing I want, so I'm not going to pay it any attention. That's a personal failing, I think, but we all have our things. I think we're going to highlight some of this Screamer pink with a little bit of corn red. And I think we're going to do intentionally not smooth highlight, so it'll add to the mottled tone of this wreckage. But with
I added some of the metals to the bag of Snick Rod, and man, it just like brings it to life. Because it was just like the greens and browns at first, and now I've added some silvers to it. It just looks so much more nice now.
Devil's in the details, right? It's just how the basing is looking so far, guys. Got the concrete painted up. I need to do some highlights on the concrete. But got the body of the Titan all done up with the base coats now. Now to go in and add some highlights. And then, usually I like to, well, it depends on what effect I'm going for. In this case, I'm going to be doing all my highlights and then a wash because this piece has been sitting in the swamp for who knows how long. And so it's going to be very unclean. For these highlights, we are going to take one of our jankiest brushes and we'll be applying a very janky stippling to the reds. I think that's a Bare Naked Ladies, Keegan.
No, he's doing that All-Star song.
Oh, that's Smash Mouth. I knew the song. I just couldn't remember who did it at first.
And I swear, if you start singing it,
I wasn't.
I will leave.
The only time I really like that song, and nothing wrong with it for anyone who does like it, but the only time I really enjoy that song is when I'm watching Shrek.
I know you was going to say that.
I will leave. I will block you.
Hey, man. I'm not going to do it, man. That's serious.
You'll move country.
Oh, I talked about what I painted this week. I got a couple more things of hobby goodness this week. I have done some printing. To be truthful, I'm pretty much nonstop printing. I have to remind myself to give the machine a rest once in a while. But I printed up another 10-man squad of Scions. I'm going for 30 to begin with. Ideally 60, because I think 60 is a good number of troop choices for an army to start with. Although some Scion armies go as far as 100, 120. But, before I go making that many, we don't even know what troops are going to look like in 10th edition. They say currently most of your battle line troop choices are going to get 6 slots of the same data sheet. And so if that happens to Scions, I may not need more than 60 Scions. So I know I'll stay here with you, and in the morning, I'll stay here with you, and in the morning, I'm making waffles. Yes. So I did the Scions, but then something I really like, they are heavy strikers from Puppets War, and they have loadouts so you can make either Terminators or aggressors. Well, fuck. Aggressors go on 40 millimeter bases. I just realized I put these on 32s. Gonna have to take their bases off, but yeah, check that out. Prints came out nice and crisp. Got the bolters on the wrists, some power fisty goodness, missiles on the shoulders. They are going to be aggressively hitting up my Ultramarine side of the battlefield. Aggressorly. I printed out 6 of them. I was going to do 3 for my Ultramarines and 3 for my Scars, but I want the Scars to have the Flamer variants, and I didn't see any Flamer variants in there. So I'm going to do the Bolter ones and put them in my Ultras. Lots of printing going on. Nice. I've been printing Bradleys for Team Yankee. Going to make me a Bradley company. Nice. Yeah, I saw you were printing away in the in our chat. They're looking good, man. Yeah, last Friday, because I wanted to have these 3 dreads done for, Killicans done for the challenge. I think I stayed up until like 6 in the morning that day.
Yeah. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I was working on them pretty crazy, but I'm still not 100% happy. It's just like a few little bits that I need to do more. But then all of a sudden I got Boss Snickrod. I'm like, new models.
Oh, I have the old Snickrot, but I need to put them together for our April challenge. Maybe get him primed up this weekend. The other thing I need to get primed up is my brother-in-law stopped in and brought me a commission for his D&D campaign. He's got a necromancer and his 4 generals that he wants painted up. So I'll be doing some of these. There's a sorcerer and a necromancer here. There is a fallen paladin and a rogue here. Or ranger, I mean. And the centerpiece of this commission is going to be a Minotaur. It says Guardman, but this is going to be a Minotaur barbarian in his story with a big magical weapon. So I'm pretty hyped. Oh, I just realized that this guy who's going to be the Fallen Paladin is from the Critical Role set and the Rogue too, or the Ranger too. So, hype. So yeah, I'll get to stretch my painting legs a little bit and do something that I normally don't paint up. While he was over here dropping these off, I was like, I have a new... No, sorry, wrong side. I have a new toy, so, you need some D&D minis for your campaign. He's like... He turned to his wife and goes, we're going to have so many minis.
Did she then turn to you and said, "Thanks a lot"?
No, she's in the D&D campaign too. She was on board. In fact, I felt pretty good because when they were at the game store picking up the miniatures, she's the one who turned to him and says, Mythos paints up miniatures, and he's really good at it. Maybe you could get him to paint up your miniatures for like a commission or something. So that's how they ended up over at my place. I was like, oh. You buy some miniatures, you think of Mythos. I appreciate that. So obviously I want to do an extra good job on these because, it's for family.
Okay, Dom.
That's where my mind went as well.
You never turn your back on family. I could swear I saw a TMP comment for just a second and then it disappeared. Anyone used a harpoon in Necromunda? I have not played any Necromunda. No, we don't need any Dom. Hey, I like his family values, okay? I feel like that's a reference and I need to be saying it in a very specific way. And it's just not registering. When you buy a miniature, don't feel lost. Hit up your favorite neighborhood mini painter, Mythos. I feel like that's a reference to something. Like Mr. Rogers or something. I feel like it's a reference.
Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Say it in Spider-Man. When you buy a miniature, don't feel lost. Just hit up your friendly neighborhood mini painter, Mythos. I don't know why, but the old like early 80s Spider-Man pops into mind with the one with the crazy kind of catchy tune. That spins a web any size. That's the one that comes to mind. Ooh, it is. We got 10 minutes left in the show already. Tonight's kind of flown by. I feel like I've been getting some stuff done too. Unlike most of the time when we do these painting chats, and I've realized I've just been running my mouth for 3 hours and not painting anything.
You do more of the chat instead of the painting?
Yeah.
I got the green armor done.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
I just don't feel like doing the robes.
classic beige robes, I take it.
Yep.
Spins a web and he sighs, catch thieves just like flies. Look out, here goes the Spider-Man. At the speed of light, he arrives just in time. Like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Action is his reward. No, that's what comes next. Well, I'm done. I messed it up. Shut it down. Take it away.
Frost and Fist, the musical coming soon.
It looks so nice with the red and the gold and the concrete. It's time to put some mud and then streak and grind down and mess it all up. Quick, the mute button. That's because you were too young for the early Spider-Man song, my friend. Too young. Baby fight. I literally just took this cap off. Where did I put it?
And it's gone.
Forever.
At least I'm not the only one. Put it down and it just disappears.
So my desk is an ongoing wreckage.
Oh,
And
mine's
I
terrible at the moment.
Huh?
Mine's terrible at the moment.
And I didn't know Oni had OCD. And we were over for a game. And I was showing Oni something at the desk. And he walked away. And Freak said to him, I know you've got ODD. This desk problem. I said something offhand, like, you know, like
ODD,
guys,
you mean OCD?
I said OCD.
No, right now you said ODD.
Oh, the first time I got it right. What's he say? Oh yeah, I said, you know, excuse the mess, guys, because my desk is constantly a wreck. And Freak goes, man, with your OCD, you probably are, you know, this desk is probably driving you crazy. He said, that's why I walked away. I can't. Can't do this, Mythos.
That's when we played boarding actions, right?
Yep. Oh.
Next second, he's cleaning your desk for you.
You're not the. We're not the only ones. Keegan's always losing his glue cap. Yeah, me too. I especially I use this these big bottles of glue from BSI. It's my favorite super glue to hobby with. But one of the things is the glue always gets gunked up at the top and in the inside the cap, and it's such an on. You can't really see it because of the lighting, but yeah, there's a lot of super glue dried up in here. It's such an ongoing problem that they actually sell spare tips for their super glue bottles. And so and of course, I buy them just because I really like their super glue. I've actually got a fresh bottle being Amazoned right now. But yeah, those lids will also disappear on me from time to time. Dang it, where did the super glue go? I think one of our first videos was hobbying on the cheap. And I've seen other people's like budget hobby super video or, hobbying on the cheap style videos where, people say super glue is super glue. Don't waste your money on hobby super glue. And I used to subscribe to that idea too. Huh? What'd you say?
I was saying I can't stand the cheap stuff.
Oh yeah,
I can't stand the cheap.
Exactly. Like there's definitely a difference. And if you use the cheap stuff, power to you. I just don't like it myself. And it's funny, I think even in our original video, when we were doing hobbying on the cheap, I think we were of the idea at the time, same thing, super glue, right? But
yeah,
it comes in all flavors, guys. And I think like if you go with, the typical all-purpose super glues, most of the cheaper stuff is super thin and runny, which ideally, if you're trying not to create gaps in your projects, super thin super glue can be good. It's just not for me because it's very liquidy, and very liquidy stuff takes a little longer to dry, and it very easily spills everywhere. Like you put a drop on, the two pieces you're trying to fit together, and next thing you know, because it's so liquidy, it's run onto your fingers and stuff like that, and they're sticking together. And then, of course, there's gel super glues, which I enjoyed for a long period of time. But because the glue is thicker, sometimes your pieces don't space together right and stuff like that. I do prefer gel over regular thin super glue if I'm using general purpose super glue. And I know a lot of people say stay away from hobby specific super glue, but this BSI stuff is largely used in a lot of like hobby at large, like railroad hobby and stuff like that. But also like this BSI stuff
looks familiar.
Nice. But I also have seen like mechanics who use this stuff for various tasks, like plugging holes in hoses and stuff like that. It is really strong stuff. I can see why they use it, but this stuff has got a really good strong bond. I see you too, sir, also a man of culture, and have gone with the purple. The purple is my favorite because it's called the medium gap filling viscosity. It comes in different viscosities: the thin, the extra thick, the gel. The medium viscosity is my favorite because it's thick enough to stay right where you put it. There's not really, unless you're just pouring it on, there's not a lot of running or anything with it. When I do my basing, I do a lot of basing with super glue. And since it comes in nice big bottles, not being precious about it or worrying, how expensive to use super glue for basing. And it keeps my projects on there, and I don't have to use anything to keep it from spilling over the sides. Its thick viscosity is really nice for me letting me put it down all over the base and it not running onto the surface I'm working on. So good stuff. I really like BSI. How was boarding actions? Greg and I are going to have to play it soon. Just haven't had time. It's a lot of fun. It is definitely smaller and more condensed. Even with both of us taking the time to stop and get acclimated to the new system, It went by really quick. I think it was an hour and a half for the game total. The setup took longer than anything else. The enclosed space, like the limitations of list building, the limitations of movement, the limitations of positioning yourself in the hallways, like it really gets the brain thinking. You got to really, you can't just run in like the difference between, a what do they call, like a team deathmatch and an objective game, right? You can't just run in expecting to shoot everything down. You actually have to think about tactics and positioning and stuff like that.
Which you thought about doing that.
I thought about it. I was wrong, but I thought about it.
But you learned.
Yeah, I effed around and I found out.
you learned real quick.
But yeah, so positioning is really vital in that game type. And I have to say it was fun. Like, even though I got my butt pretty handily kicked, I had a great time.
That was pretty funny. Like, you were like, it's like, I'm just going to stay here. You need to go through the door anyways. I open the door. Pa, 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 pa. It's like, well.
That did not go as I expected.
Yeah.
So what happened in turn 2? You know the phrase "f around and find out"?
Yeah,
that
I found
was
out.
turn 2. So it was really good. I definitely because there are changes to it from normal play. I would recommend watching somebody's how to play boarding actions videos. And I haven't found anyone that comprehensively walks through the whole thing really well. A couple of the videos I watched focus on different aspects, but if you want, I can point you out to the couple of videos I used as tutorials to kind of watch. And I think watching it before you play gives you like a better idea of what's going on before you start putting models on the table. Like I said, your list building is a little different. So the rules are mostly 40K, but slightly different. And then you have actions that you don't have in normal 40K, like opening doors and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just a couple extra steps to consider. A couple extra steps to consider, and a couple actually to forget. Because, like, you don't take things like warlords, traits, and relics and stuff like that. You know, everybody has access to the same 6 enhancements that everybody can pick, which I think is going to be something that's rumored to be in 10th edition. Good night, TMP, brother. So, you know, it seems pretty evident that 10th edition was meant to be a testing ground for some of the stuff that's come out in
Boarding actions.
Boarding actions and Arcs of Omen in general were meant to be testing grounds for some of the 10th edition stuff. So, especially since boarding actions will be a key feature of 10th edition. In fact, all games that are 500 points, 500 points to 1,000 are meant to be boarding actions games in the new edition. Welcome back, Cookie. Came to see your chat again. It's isn't it just 0 to 1 HQ, 0 to 3 troops, and 0 to 1 elite? Yes-ish. There's like a list of different exceptions. So you would just look at Necrons and what their exceptions are, and then you can see what else you can take. Basically, that's the general gist of it. You're right. Well, guys, we are going to wrap up here. G, my man, where did you get to with your project, and can you show us some of that gorgeous work?
Well, I'm pretty happy because I've put on the mask, the goggles. You're not going to be able to see it on camera, but I just glued on the face because he's just obviously he's got like a mask on, so he's just had a huge hole in his face for a while. But yeah, I actually did get a lot done. I based most of the silver on metallics. So he's starting to look pretty nice now, pretty tasty.
I have met a
But,
few exceptions in my life.
I'll put up some pictures on Facebook.
Nice. I have met a few exceptions in my life, but I have to say, I find that most people tend to look better without a big gaping hole in their face.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, he did still look kind of handsome in my mind. He still was pretty sexy. But yeah, he actually looks like Snickerot now. He's got his goggles on. He looks like he's ready to kill some Imperial Guard.
Ooh, Greg went to see the new D&D movie. Highly recommend it. We're going to go see that next weekend for my lovely Lily's birthday. Morca's Workshop. If you want to see those up-close, sexy-ass pictures of his boss, Snickerot, you can actually find G the Hyper Sapien on Facebook here in the Gorka Morka Facebook group that I've just put into the chat. You click it, join it, be a member of G. Well, actually, I'm helping too there, or allegedly. I haven't been there in a hot minute. I'm allegedly helping out in the Facebook group, and I need to get better at it. So yeah, come join our little group here. It is a great group with some great people, led by a sexy ass Hyper Sapien. Where did you get tonight, Oni brother? You said you finished up the green armor.
That's it.
Hey, that's the bulk of the work, right? Now the devil's in the details.
Actually, the green armor is not even that prevalent on that model. It's the robes.
Oh yeah.
It's only a little bit of green armor.
For myself, I have done a little bit of work on the horse, but mostly focused on the base tonight. And I painted the dirt, even though like you can't see it because I'm going to go in and do my water effects.
You're missing a big detail on that horse.
A big detail. We had a joke about horse dong, and he said if I green stuffed a big dong onto my horse, he'd give it a weapon profile stats. House rules.
An extra plus to attack.
And 6s inflict a mortal wound.
I can't remember what it was. I have to scroll up on the chat.
Yeah. I think you gave it a pretty high strength and a mortal wound on 6s or something like that.
I think so.
It was funny. So now every time I show off the horse,
just
he's like...
a separate ring.
Yeah. So now every time I show off the horse, he's always like, see, you still haven't finished working on the sculpt mythos. You're missing a piece. Oh, man. Well, guys, that's everything we've done tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed the chat tonight. I hope some of you have painted along, gotten in a little hobby with us, because I always feel like hobby is, the painting, the hobbying is always great, but it's even better when we take the time to hobby with a friend. So that's why we like to, do this hobby and chat with you guys. We are doing a hobby chat. If anyone's interested, hit me up. I'll send you the invite. If you guys like tonight's episode, make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below, especially if you're watching from the archive. Feel free to be part of any of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you are not yet subscribed to G the Hyper Sapien, and if you're not subscribed to us or our friends of the Frosted Fist down below, by the way, you can find G the Hyper Sapiens channel down in the list down below. And we would love to have you guys as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. So subscribe. Until next time, guys, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.